Yo, what up, what up? This is Vern, Barber Knowledge 101, you know what I'm saying? And basically today, what I'm gonna be showing you is a live haircut, you know what I'm saying? I just finished, so I'll basically show you how I do it, and I'm gonna show you how to bypass all of those steps, doing the line around the head and balling it out with beard trimmers and shavers and razors and all of that, making it perfectly neat. And then you see all these barbers going through these steps with the guards and fading it out till they get the line out. Now that's all good, but to me it's kind of textbook, and if you ever go to school, that's how they're gonna teach you how to cut. Obviously, if you've been doing this a long time, you might find the way I cut a little easier to learn how to do it like that. But even if you're starting out, I think it's a good way to cut. And I basically use more of a flicker and a freestyle, freehand. It works best for me. And the way I cut is more of a safeguard, because you can always go back and fix it. When you do it the way a lot of these tutorials are showing you, I would say about 95% of the barbers I see out here today cutting, and most of these YouTube videos, they all doing the same thing with this line. And when you do that, you gotta bear in mind, you gotta make sure you know where you're putting that line, because where the fade ends up being is where that line is gonna be. And so if someone's saying they want to fade right here and you balled it out right here, the fade isn't going to be right here. It's going to end up being up here. So you got to keep that in mind. At the end of the day, you know, I think a lot of these people are doing a little bit too much in these videos, and I don't think that really helps someone that actually just wants to learn how to cut without all that fancy stuff. You just want to be in the barbershop making, you know, good money, but you want to be quick and productive. And at the end of the day, you know, it's not to say I don't use the guards and go through the steps, but you know, the more freestyle you can be accustomed to doing, the better of a barber you're gonna be, and the faster you're gonna be able to be. You're gonna be able to just go in there and fix and patch things up and just be quick and go with the flow. And you'll see in the video I'm about to show you. And bear in mind, if you don't want to hear me talking right now, just fast forward to the video, you know what I'm saying? But basically all I use is my Andes Master, and mostly my #1 guard, and then I use the adjustments that the clipper provides. This is key, you know what I'm saying? I don't really need to use all the guards, just my comb and my style outliner too, Andes T-Edger. So just with those alone is pretty much what I do most of my work with. You know, obviously I'm using scissors and I'm using the guards and things like that, but I just think the way a lot of these barbers are showing you guys how to cut hair isn't necessarily the way you have to do it, because you know, to be honest, if you did most of the haircuts in the steps that these people are showing you, obviously they're taking longer because they're showing you. But even that being said, you know, you're gonna have your client in the chair for a minute. So I just don't really find that it's realistic. I think a lot of people are just doing a little bit extra to kind of make the haircut look good. Got gloves on and just all this extra stuff, you know what I mean? So you'll see in this cut that I do, and you'll see at the end, I'll freak it with the razor a little bit. Bear in mind, this client, he doesn't take well to a razor on his face, so I don't use the razor on his face, just for his hairline. But you'll see how I cut, and I'll do some more videos and actually show you the difference between doing the line and just straight fading, you know what I'm saying? Just go right in and fade. Bear in mind, this is just like my only second video on YouTube, so I'm new to this. I'm trying to help barbers out there, or people are trying to get into this for the first time. So please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And without any more time wasted, let's get to it. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just going right into it. I'm not starting out with a line around the head or anything like that. I'm just I think I have the #1 guard on, and right now I'm just going around the sides and top, just kind of getting an even feel all the way around. This way, as I take the guard off, I'm gonna come back around and just start from the bottom and just start literally fading it right out as I go along. Keeping in mind, I'm adjusting the blade on the clippers as I go along from time to time. But basically, I put the guard all the way down on the clipper, and I just keep coming up from the bottom all the way to the top, to about mid-range, wherever the fade is you want it to be. Like I said, this is a great way and a safeguard to cut, because you don't really have to worry about going too high or too low, and you just keep a rhythm and a nice pace evenly all the way around the head, and just keep coming from the bottom all the way up, and cleaning it out. And as you will see, the fade's coming along nice slowly, and gradually it'll start to come out just the same as it would doing the line and all of that with the steps. But in this way, you just save a lot of time. And I just think when you do the line around the head, like I said, you got to make sure you know where you want the fade to be before putting the line in there. And going through the steps with the guards, you're almost going to have to use every guard just to get the line out. And if you're not careful and you put too much work in balding the head around, all the way around, some people, I've seen fades where the fade looks so good, but then there's still a faint line there. So obviously then you got to come back over with a razor or some kind of shaver or something to get that line out. But I don't really think you need to do all of that. This is a lot better and effective way to cut. It's more efficient and it's a lot faster. And I'm gonna just let you watch for a little bit, and as you see it in a little bit, I'll switch to my T-edgers to finish it up and give it that real ball fade look. Now, as you can see, I'm using the T-edgers, and I'm doing a similar effect like I was with the clippers, just with a flicking action, and keeping the same rhythm, same pace. Now, bear in mind, this is kind of a lot of freestyling, so it's not like everyone's going to be able to do this necessarily. I think if you've been cutting hair for a long time, you might find it easier to make this adjustment. But if you're just starting out, then maybe using the line and that method might be better for you. I'm not knocking that way of cutting. Like I said, I think that's the way most people learn to cut hair. That's the way they'll probably teach you if you go to school or whatever. But I think over time, you should be able to develop a more effective and efficient way to cut, and bypass a lot of these things. And like I said, doing it this way, you'll find that you'll be able to come back later and touch things up. You'll see that I'll go back and forth from this edger to the clipper, but it's a lot more effective and you'll save a lot of time.
first in points scored. I mean, they're in the top 5 in points scored, but they're also in the top 10 in points allowed. So they're doing it on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. And I want to stay in the red zone with our next matchup, Minnesota Vikings and the New York Jets. Because Kirk Cousins, when he was in the NFC East, when he was with the Redskins, he had problems in the red zone. Now he's with a coach, John DeFilippo, who ran the red zone offense for the Philadelphia Eagles for a couple of years. Now he's in Minnesota as the offensive coordinator. And Kirk Cousins has 8 touchdown passes and no interceptions in the red zone.
Okay, so now we're coming down to the time for the edge, the shape up, the most important part of a haircut. This is what makes a haircut pop. And as you can see, if you look closely, I kind of even use my fingers as a little support, as a guideline to help you make sure that edge is nice and straight and that you don't go in too far. And also, like I said before, depending on what kind of clippers you like to use, whether it's Oysters, Walls, I like to use the Andes. These are the Andes style outliner too. And for me, I like to keep my edges really sharp, nice and close, give you a nice, clean, close cut. That's why I like to use them to clean out the sides of the fade at the end and for my shape up, but not so sharp that they would cut you. Now, everybody's temperament is different. Another barber might use my edges, and based on his temperament and how, his touch is, might be too sharp. You might cut someone. So you got to know how you like your edges to be, how you like them to feel, because bear in mind everyone's skin is different too. So some people are more sensitive than others. So you got to have the right touch. But as you will see soon, I will go over the edge with a razor, a cutthroat. With this particular gentleman, I'm only going to do his hairline because he doesn't take well to a razor on his face. And that's another factor that you have to keep in mind with your clients. I know a lot of barbers and a lot of stuff that I hear from clients with bad experiences is that they go to barbers and the barber just pulls out the razor and just starts doing extra stuff that they didn't ask for, eyebrows, whatever, you name it. So I think it's very important to listen to your client, ask your client if they want a service before actually just giving it to them. Now, some barbers may do that just so they can charge extra, but I don't do that. And if a barber does that, without your consent, then he's kind of putting pressure on himself, because if you don't like it now, what can you do? It's already done. And then on top of that, you're going to charge them, and they didn't even ask for it. So also, as you can see, I'm using the chair. You always want to make sure you use the chair, let the chair do the work for you, because again, it's about saving time and being productive and quick, and that's the whole key factor with a chair. Pumping it up, make sure you're not bending over, putting strain on your back. Spinning the chair, make sure you use the mirror. Your mirror is your best friend. I've been doing this so long that I can do a haircut looking in the mirror without actually looking at the head as I'm cutting. But again, these things take time, and with time, and the experience, you may develop that ability to do that, because I always like to think of a mirror as it gives you the perception of like someone looking at you from afar. So when you look at a mirror, you can look back and you're almost like looking at it from afar, and that's how your haircut's gonna be looked at from afar. Most people aren't gonna be as close as you are when you're cutting their hair. They're gonna be from a distance, and that's when you can appreciate a good haircut. So as you can see, I'm just going over everything now with the razor, touching up some things, and I'll eventually start his face, his beard, his chin strap, and basically using the same T-edges and give it that defined definition look. And yep, and that's about it. He's almost done. So at this point, I'll leave the video to do the rest of the work. I hope this has been a big help. If it has, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, because obviously, I'm here to help you, you help me, and I'll be doing some more videos soon, breaking down some different kind of haircuts. If there's any kind of questions you'd like to leave comments, fire away. So like I said, I hope this has been a big help, And thank you for listening and watching my video.
I really enjoy watching this. Two back power. And you have a fullback, you have Devlin in front of Sony Michel. Now let's go to play side. Rob Gronkowski against the 3-4 as a base block. Then you're going to have the double team inside. This is critical. So you see both. You see the block by Gronk, critical. You see the double team working to the backside linebacker. But now, as we said, this is two back power. So what you're going to get with the fullback Devlin, he's going to be the kick-out block on the safety. And then you're going to get the left guard here. What he's going to do is he's the wrapper. He's the puller. And this is executed beautifully. And you're going to see both blocks really well done. You have the double team, so you get the gap, the hole for Sony Michel. Really, really well done. He gets through the second level. He's untouched. You get a 12, 13-yard run. So that is two back power. Now here's shotgun power. And you'll appreciate this, Matt. What you're going to get, now this is Gronkowski again. He's going to start. This is a really difficult block because the defensive end is right in front of him. And then you're going to get the double team again. So you see both. The double team works beautifully. You're going to get exactly what you want. So now we need to take this back again as we did before. And you need to see the pulling guard here at Shaq Mason. He's going to come in. There's only now one lead block here. He's the puller. He's the wrapper. He's going to get the stack backer right here. And what are you going to get here? If he gets the stack backer, you're going to get Sony Michel up on a safety. Probably not the best position to be in when you're a safety. No, but that's a tough deal. But the point is, that's the run game that's working really effectively. But, you know, that was a nice play. Well, you know, we're getting along really well. Matt's been there. He told me he's been there before. A few times in his career. Running back on the third level, open field like that, kind of tough. And another thing that is being appreciated is Tom Brady, 41 years old right now. He's appreciating the fact that he's got not one but two running backs, and he's getting protected. Yeah. And that's how you stay on the field as a 41-year-old quarterback. No question about it. Let's flip the script. Let's flip the Chicago Bears on offense. The middle of the pack numbers, right? 19th overall on offense, 22nd in the passing game. But Mitchell Trubisky is making steady progress. Yeah, you really look at the tape the last 2 weeks and what he has done in terms of the offensive structure there. More definitely, you know, like we talked about, also the running back position. Rick Cohen, how are you using him in the passing game? That's going to create match. Create match. Finally, we talked about this before. A roadmap of where to go with football. So he's not playing so much off schedule. You want to play team structure in the game plan. Doing an excellent job of that. You see the numbers are starting. Safety central offense to return. Well, that Belichick makes it. That'll be interesting. Our next matchup, New Orleans Saints at the Baltimore Ravens. This is strength against strength, right? This is a great offense against a very good stingy defense. It is, and also right now, they're down and that's the mouse in the game to the quarterback. You understand what they're doing in the coverage. What I mean by that, how they match the coverage, how they set traps, how they protect the sticks. That's Butler. You're going to need your brains after when they're down. Money down. I got two plays that show perfect examples of that. Let's start against the matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here the Steelers have a 3-by-1 set. The Ravens, in their big dime personnel, they get you three safeties downfield. The safety very well, and Anthony Levine roll down to the weak side of the formation. I